Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth. Welcome to the Patriot Act. So glad you're here. Pray that you all had a wonderful Saturday. And let's get right into it. So today in history, during World War II, a Great Dane got the Blue Cross Medal for peeing on a bomb and extinguishing it. Pretty interesting. That was in 1941. So we've been hearing a lot about the National Guard. First and foremost, I want to thank them for their service to our country, for keeping the safety of all those that they have been asked to keep safe. The question for the past few days is, why were they put in a basement garage? I know that you've seen the pictures. They're pretty bad. It's terrible that these men and women were basically deployed here to protect the Capitol when there was hardly anyone there for the ceremony, and then immediately after they were thrown in a garage. And it's funny because no one seems to know how they got to the garage. No one in Congress, no one in the Senate, no one seems to know who was the one who pointed them in the direction of this very cold place, in which had not many facilities. There was no Wi-Fi, and there was no heat. So bravo to Congress, and bravo to all those who that did allow for this to occur. So, it's pretty insane. So when you hear some of the quotes and some of the statements of these men and women, oof. One of the guards said, "We honestly feel betrayed. After everything went seamlessly, we were deemed useless and banished to the corner of a parking garage." Bravo. Bravo. While the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. served as a rest area for the police on the day of the ceremony. I mean, that says it. For me. I feel like I have to make no other statement after that. Right? Senator Tim Scott says our troops deserve the utmost honor and respect for securing the Capitol and defending democracy this week. So where were y'all when, from what I did some research and some digging to find out if I could figure out who it was. And guess what? It was one uniformed police officer who told these guards, these National Guards, these strong, brave men and women. And when asked, no one, no senator, no congressman, no representative, no president, first lady, no one knew how they got there. But we're told that they will find out who it was and they will take care of it properly. Whatever the heck that means. Michael Damelencourt, who is the managing director of the Trump International Hotel in Washington, lets the reporters know a heart full of gratitude to all of our law enforcement officers. Enjoy America's living room and great having you all with us. I mean, bravo. I mean, it says a lot by your actions, right? Words mean nothing, actions mean everything. I'm gonna let you, dingle that around in your head a little bit. I don't know. Shit's crazy. Excuse my language. Please, God, forgive me. And then to top it off, 5,000 of those National Guards will stay in D.C. till the middle of March. I guess to keep things safe, right? To protect the Capitol that was stormed January 6th. It's a terrible thing that they did, right? These patriots. Well, I tell you, there have been a heck of a lot of burning, torching, abusing of the police officers, and they were just allowed to do it. I'm not going to name any names, but come on. Enough. Yes. The disgrace that happened inside of the Capitol building, I will not ever say was okay. But come on. The mass amount of people that were there, myself included, were there to have our voices heard by singing and chanting USA. My goodness, my goodness. Stores burnt down, neighborhoods ripped apart. But you hear nothing of that, right? Bail them out of jail. Bail them out of jail. This, that lady, that's the vice president. It gives me a headache. It's got to give you a headache, right? All right, let's move forward. So I spoke about the threat that Texas, was going to be suing the Biden administration due to the freeze on the deportation. I don't live directly on the border. And I gotta tell you, I don't envy them. So imagine that you live on the border. Imagine that people are coming in and out because apparently the government doesn't worry about things like this. They want to give immunity, they want to give asylum, but they don't care about those that it directly affects. Texas is one of them. It's funny how the Department of Homeland Service at one point stated that, such a freeze will put Texan safety at risk and that this unlawful and perilous actions cannot stand. But yet, here we are, right? Here we are, putting a pause on deportation. Again, here we go with the government thinking about the outside of America, despite thinking about those who live here, who actually pay taxes, who want to live a beautiful, safe life, who love this country. But let's worry about those who don't live here, who illegally entered into our country. Illegal, right? There are things in this country that are illegal. And if you do an illegal act, you must go to jail. Or you must leave our country. We do not need any more crime. No, we have enough of our own. We have enough of our own homeless people, children hungry, to worry about anyone else. And that may sound harsh, and you may not agree with it, but I really don't care. I walk the streets of New York City and I see homeless people, some with their children, and those are the ones we should be worrying about. Ooh, sorry for the rant, but my goodness. Oh. Now, Sidney Powell, she's been slightly MIA, but she's back, and she's still fighting for our freedom, our constitutional rights, and she does not want this election situation to occur again. I almost said the F word and not the curse. So let's keep an eye out for her. She's doing some good things. She's staying in the political realm, trying to make sure that our voices are heard. Bravo to Sidney Powell. She is a hero, a heroine of mine. And I pray that she can do what she sought out to do from the very beginning. All right. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's bring it back to what's important. And that's you. And that's your choice to feel good. Now, every day we have a choice. We have a choice to either feel good or not feel good. And that may sound silly, but that truly is your choice. Our thoughts are what run our mind and what help to make the next step of the next action, the next thought. So if we stay in a happy thought, if we stay in a positive thought, we then have the ability to move on to a positive action, to a positive decision. Right? So pay attention when you feel a good vibration. Pay mind to it so that you could refer back to it when you're not feeling good. And this may sound way too simple and way too easy, but that's truly what it is. When you are feeling good, pay close attention to what it is that you're doing at that moment. So that when you start to, go down and you start to feel or think these negative thoughts, you could refer back. You can go back to clapping your hands, whatever it was that you were doing at that moment when you realized that you were in peace, in joy. You then have a reference, a happy reference. Go back. I love that part. That part works for me every day as a recovering addict, someone who's dealt with depression and anxiety, as young as I can remember. When I realized that I had this ability, that I had the power to, I don't want to use the word trick, but to make my mind, make my thoughts refer back to the joy and peace. I never in my life thought I would ever feel joy and peace. Maybe joy, but peace, that was not on, that wasn't even on my goals of things to accomplish. Peace of mind. In the program, we learn that after you get clean, you then live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And to some, that may be cars and money, but for me, it's peace. I no longer fight with the demon inside my mind telling me that you need something from the external life in order to make the internal feel good. And I know a lot of people out there deal with the same thing. I was diagnosed bipolar. I'm not bipolar. That was just an easy way for a doctor to get rid of me. And I truly feel that way. And due to all that, due to all the medication that I was prescribed, it took me a long time to finally feel what life felt like. Life on life's terms. When told that in a program, I truly thought that was something negative. It's not. Life on life's terms makes me feel like an adult. I'm proud. I'm making decisions. I'm paying bills. I'm making videos. All day I do my research and I make sure that I have the most up-to-date information. I meditate every night. I need to make sure that you understand the importance of meditation. And with practice, let me tell you, you will have euphoric, beautiful experiences, all in your own mind. Now, once we change how we think, we open up a new way of thinking. And it takes practice. And I have a challenge for you, and it's something I'm doing right now. Every day, write 3 things that you are grateful for. 3 things. And throughout that day, if you start to feel down or you go off on a tangent in your mind, refer back to those 3 things. And it will center you. It will help to bring you back to the clarity that you had when you were actually writing that list. And it works. It truly does. And after a while, it just, at first it was difficult. The first few days was like, what am I grateful for? It's so hard. But I'm realizing that I have so much gratitude. One time I wrote my bed. I love my bed. My cat Max, my husband James, my children, milk, cereal, all these things that make me feel good or things that I enjoy are things that I have obtained and that I have the ability to obtain because of the change in my mind. And the change in my mind allowed me to grow. It allowed me to see that there is something bigger out there beyond me. That this isn't it. We'll go more into that. But I wanted to start out with something a little bit more, something more simple. So that you could see that it really is just that simple. But we'll get a little bit deeper as the days go by, as the videos go by. But we need to start out with something that we can actually see happening. And I want you to know that it's happening for me. You need to make sure that you hang around people that have that positive vibration. If you hang around with people that are negative, it will not help you to raise your own vibration. It just won't. Especially if you are newly trying to do this, because let me tell you something. in the beginning and still now, if my husband and I are on different vibrations, if I'm in a bad place, I can affect my husband's day. And my husband now has a choice to engage. And he doesn't. And at first I would get pissed off like this. He don't care. Why don't you care? Why don't you care about me? Why don't you care that I'm sad? But in the actuality, he has a right. I'm not dying. My ear's not falling off. So in the end, just hang out with people. Like people that have what you want. I'm telling you. These things work, man. Get in touch with nature. My husband hugs trees. It's funny. And he gets excited when he does it. I hugged 2 trees today. He told me that today. Pay attention to the world around you. There are so many things. And things will start to change if you just pay close attention. And think good thoughts. Once that negative thought comes in, attack it. Go back to something that made you feel good. It works, I promise. I was sleeping on the streets. And nothing worked. In and out of programs. In and out of the rooms. Psychiatric wards. I'm telling you, man, I've been there. And now I'm here. And it's been a long process, a journey. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. It's not unattainable. It's right there. And it's simple, right? Be nice, feel good, do service. All these things will help you directly. We don't have to live in sorrow and sadness. We have the choice whether we want to be involved with the BS or not. I will not be involved with the BS. I am not about that life anymore. I'm not. I'm about peace and joy and positive vibrations and having fun. Okay, let me stop. All right, so I'm going to end this with a beautiful quote by an anonymous writer. At the end of the day, I'm at peace because my intentions are good and my heart is pure. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that I was able to help a little bit, if not a lot. Comment, subscribe, share. I'll be back with some more amazing information on how to raise your vibration. Bye, guys.